today will be paint day on Buffalo Builders. This is Buffalo Builders, the next generation. The students have been working real hard on the job site, and the Buffalo building team has really gone a long way. They started with a foundation, they've come up with the walls, they put trusses up, they've got sheathings up, they've actually put interior finishes in and drywall. Now they're starting to paint. Barry Martin with Habitat for Humanity of Lake Sumter is the project manager for this project, and he keeps the job moving every day.
My name is Barry Martin. I'm construction manager for Habitat Humanity Lake Sumter. They have done the exterior framing walls. They did the wall sheeting. They set trusses. They decked the roof. They've waterproofed it. They installed exterior doors and windows. You know, I would put this house up against any construction home in the area. Bruce and I work really hard at making sure quality is a constant. The students have, you know, there's some things that they've done that we've had them tear apart to correct. When you walk through the house and you see nice straight walls, you know, you look at the exterior and you look at the roof and you see how nice and flat the roof is. I mean, they've done an excellent job, so I believe the homeowner is thrilled. You know, we're trying to instill into the students something that will help them be successful when they hit the work site and be a standard above the normal employee. I'm just really pleased with how this group is coming around.
Harry Muir, the manager of Romac Truss, is going to tell us about the trusses used on the Habitat project.
This particular house is a HIP system home that we have on the house. They are cantilever trusses. The cantilever exposes more siding around the outside of the house and gives a higher profile or curb appeal. Also, it gives more room inside the trusses for an AC unit. The particular trusses that we have here, the HIP set, they're standard flat ceiling trusses. On the ends, the truss becomes different, so we use different profiles as they're being built in the truss plan. Roof trusses need to be installed because they're a structural item and they need to be installed properly. So the engineer of record tells us how to install them directly down onto a block wall or a framed wall, and the students followed that. A structural item that's used in a house similar to a 2x4 can be purchased from any lumber yard, where a structural item as a roof truss needs to be designed, engineered, submitted to the county for permitting, and then manufactured, delivered to the job site and properly installed. What makes the roof system very important to everyone is that it withstands the wind systems, it meets the county codes, and it's gone through the inspections that are needed. So it's a very important item that's used in the home building. The students will have to look at an architectural set of plans and then also a set of roof truss layouts that are given at the time of permitting and interpret the location of each individual truss, also looking at the architectural plan to make sure that the ceilings, the overhangs, the pitches of the home, they all match. So a student has to be able to read the blueprints and plus understand the structural items that are delivered. The students on the All-Star team seem to have done a very nice job because you're able to look at the roof ridge lines and see that they're all straight, the shingles aren't waving at all. It's a nice sound system that they put up.
David Yosley from Romac Building Supply is going to tell us about the energy efficient windows used on our Habitat project.
We're not cutting any corners on these houses. Everything is top quality materials. The Allura siding is a cementitious based siding, not going to rot years down the line. We do that with the trim and the siding on the houses. Very good product, high quality product, easy to paint, holds paint down the line for less maintenance also. The windows are a YKK brand made in Georgia. They're a vinyl window with a high performance low E insulated glass for energy efficiency. They do a really good job of that. The nice feature of these vinyl windows is there's a receiver on the side. Siding slides right behind it, so there's no need to do a trim around the windows. This speeds up construction and cuts a little bit of the cost of the material that be used or go around the windows. On the roofs we're using Owens Corning Oak Ridge shingles. architectural, just all around great product. Owens Corning's been around for a long time, so good warranty. The exterior doors we're using are a Plast Pro fiberglass smooth door with a frame saver jamb. The door has a lifetime warranty against rot or warp. That's complete replacement of the door slab. The frames have a 30-year warranty on the frame saver jambs, which have a rot-proof bottom to them, so they won't rot out, which seems to be prevalent in Florida with the moisture issues we have in Florida. On the columns on the front, we're using a 6x6 LVL type beam, and the strength of these is far superior to if we just put a 4x4 or 6x6 yellow pine there. Also, the laminated manufactured post is not going to twist or warp in time. So after we cover these with a trim material on the exterior to make them look nicer, if that wood would have twisted down the line, it's going to ruin that post and the trim on the outside. So this is not only just a better product for the strength of the house, but also longevity. There's a lot to the strength of the house, and everything's engineered from the rebar and the concrete all the way up to the shingles on the roof. Everything's got to be tied together. These post base we have on the bottom of the columns are anchored down into the concrete. The bases, the anchor, the post, the straps that hold the post to the beam are all engineered, sealed product approval for the state of Florida, as everything is on the house, including the trusses and the strapping for the trusses, straps around the windows to hold the headers together. Everything has to meet that criteria, and it's all engineered ahead of time. And specific straps, buckets, and post base in this situation have to be used in order for the whole house to engineer out.
A good paint job on any construction project is important. Supervising our students today is Amanda Kelly. She's the owner of Kelly Painting Services, one of the top painting contractors in Lake and Sumter County.
I believe in education. Education is the most important thing in my business. I like to take kids and train them, teach them the right way instead of the wrong way, give us more opportunity to get more kids out there to paint. Painting is not the most glamorous job, but it's one of the most important in the field.
What would your message be to females that wanted to go in the construction fields and wanted to own their own business?
The first piece of advice that I would give to any female coming into the construction industry is don't be afraid. You can't be afraid. If you're afraid to talk and speak up, you won't make it. You've got to be able to talk to men, look them in the eye, shake hands, have a very strong, firm handshake. That's what I learned very early on. If they know you're the boss, they're going to take you seriously. And this is a great opportunity, number one, for the villages, but number two, for these kids that just get the experience that they would never get in any other school, I would say anywhere in the country. I can't imagine that there's any other kids around the country that are getting the hands-on experience that these kids here in the villages and in the other habitat houses that they're participating in. They literally get to put their hands on saws, nails into walls, and put paint on the walls. I mean, to me, it's a tremendous opportunity for any employer in the villages and or even for Habitat to be able to absorb any of these kids that are coming out of high school that have any bit of experience whatsoever. I preach prep. That's my thing. PPP. Preach prep. Because if you do not have prep, your job will not go smoothly. Everything will go south if you do not prep. Take the time to prep. Take the time to research the products that you're using for the right surfaces that you're putting it on, and make sure that you take the time to check it and not rush through it, because if the prep isn't done right, the job won't be done right. I'm excited about today. Today they're going to spray. They're going to use a paint sprayer, and typically kids aren't going to really be using those right away when they're in the field. This is more of a skilled job set that they're going to have. But today we're going to let them get a little experience in feeling what it feels like. It's, basically like a paint and spray can, but they're using it through a nozzle. This is something that if you know how to spray, you make a lot more money because you're efficient. We're always looking for painters, regardless of their skill level, whether they're an entry level, we can always put them with a more experienced painter. The way that the Villages supports the Habitat, the Construction Academy, all of the programs that they get involved in always produce amazing kids coming out of it. I've never met a kid that's come out of Construction Academy who doesn't have a level head, who isn't doing something in construction if they want to. And number three, the opportunity is so grand. It's limitless at their point.
This year's sponsor of the Habitat Project is MUN Sales and Service. They've been a big supporter of the Villages Charter High School for many years. To celebrate our Habitat Project, Zoom Drain brought lunch for all the students. They're a division of MUN Sales and Service. The kids took a moment to talk about all the things they've done to get the house to this dry-in state.
On your marks. Get set. Go!
Welcome to my new house.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations on meeting your halfway mark. I'm looking forward to getting to the end.
Thank you for watching today's Buffalo Builders, The Next Generation. Tune in to our next episode where we come a little closer to the finish of the project and handing the keys off. If you'd like to help on this project or others, please contact Kelly Colley at the Villages Charter High School or Danielle Stroud at Habitat for Humanity of Lake Sumter. Please support construction education.